And welcome to the 2024 ACCC Softball Championship live at Veterans Park here in Alabaster, Alabama. Good afternoon, I'm Dallas Renzi with the coverage as Shelton State will face off against Northwest Shoals to kick off the tournament. We had a couple of rain delays, pushed back the start time to this game, but we're ready to rock and roll here. Start time at 2 o'clock p.m. Northwest Shoals and Shelton State here on field number 2. As we take a look at the starting pitcher for Shelton State, as it will be number 22, Elizabeth Brooks, as a sophomore right-hand pitcher making her 22nd appearance on the circle this season and her 20th start of the year. And we're underway here in Alabaster as the first pitch will be fouled off for strike number 1 to the leadoff hitter for the Patriots, number 1, Braden Mitchell, playing in left field today for Northwest Shoals. Elizabeth Brooks comes in with 7 wins, 4 losses, 9 complete games this season. Over 103 innings of work this year for the Bucks, second on the team behind Lexi Darnell, who we will most likely see later in this tournament. Well, for now, it will be Brooks, as that'll be swung on a miss for strike number 2 here to Mitchell. 139 hits allowed, 51 earned runs this year, 43 strikeouts to 28 walks. Comes in with a 3.45 ERA as that pitch will miss outside. And she has allowed 7 home runs this season. Shelton State will be in pinstripe uniforms with a little bit of green on their jerseys. While for Northwest Shoals, they will be in all blue with white pants. As this will be a comebacker off the glove of Brooks as she'll flip over to first in time for out number 1. Quick reaction there from Elizabeth Brooks on the circle. She'll get out number 1 here in the top of the first inning. As that will bring out number 12, Maddie Griffith, the designated player, number 12 for Northwest Shoals. Shelton State under head coach Caitlin Griffin, a 19-26 overall record this year. They are 12-12 in the conference. As the first pitch will miss outside for ball number 1. As we take a look at the Bucks out in the field, they'll have Trinity Wilkinson, number 33, behind the plate. Lauren Coker will be at first. Caroline Hetelinski will be at second, Natalie Liner at shortstop, and Harley Johnson will be at third base for the Bucks. As this will be a ground ball base hit down the left field line, and it will be a 1-out single here for Maddie Griffin, the designated player. Northwest Shoals and the Patriots with their first base hit. Well hit ball there for Maddie Griffin, the leading hitter for the Patriots this season. And brings on number 21, Brooklyn Owens, playing at first base today for the Patriots with a runner on first with 1 out. So with Harley Johnson at third base for Shelton State, showing bunt, but the pitch will be outside for ball number 1. Header Maxwell will be in left field, Elena Spann will be in center, and Emma Harrison will be in right field for the Bucks. With Elizabeth Brooks on the circle. Start out with a 1-3 put out to Braden Mitchell, as this will be a ground ball foul down the left field line from Brooklyn Owens. As we take a look at Northwest Shoals starting batting order, Braden Mitchell, Maddie Griffin as designated player, and Brooklyn Owens to lead things off. Aspen Teague will be batting cleanup, followed by Candy Clark, Katie Dawson, Laura Finley, Jana Street, and finally Serenity Sisk. That'll be the starting 9 for the Patriots. Beautiful weather here in Alabaster, Alabama. Like I said, we've had a couple of rain delays pushed back to start time. This game was originally supposed to start at 10 o'clock in the morning this morning, but it's been pushed back to a 2 o'clock start time. But luckily, they're able to get the field conditions ready to go. And just beautiful weather here for this one between the number 4 and the number 5 seeds in the ACCC out of Division I. We'll start off the afternoon in Division I play and then conclude with Division II. 3 games here on field number 2 in day 1 of the tournament. This will be a ground ball foul from Brooklyn Owens. Northwest Shoals this season, they've only hit 8 home runs this year in 56 games, 241 runs scored as a team, and a 296 batting average this year, 367 on base percentage, and 377 slugging percentage. Griffin still on at first. Owens battles here with 2 strikes. Full count here with 1 out. As this one will be grounded foul again from Brooklyn Owens. Owens this year, this will be at bat number 94 on the year for the sophomore second baseman. with 15 RBIs on the year, a .258 batting average this year, 24 base hits, 8 doubles for Brooklyn Owens. Griffin was able to collect her 67th hit of the year. For Northwest Shoals team that has not hit a lot of home runs this year, they find a way to get on base. Ground ball to third to Harley Johnson. The lawn throw is in time, and that'll be out number 2 here in the top of the first, as Griffin will advance to second. As that'll bring down number 33, Aspen Teague. As Northwest Shoals trying to get on the board first here in the top of the first. We'll talk about later in this broadcast how both of these teams just finished their 4-game series to conclude the regular season. Shelton State won 3 of the 4 games against Northwest Shoals, including both games at Northwest Shoals to end the season on May 4th. And they meet in the first round of the playoffs here in Division I play. Good crowd here for today's tournament. Shelton State to the left, Northwest Shoals to the right. As they'll start out 1-0 here to Teague, and she'll hit a ground ball to second to a Hedlinski, and she fires the first in time. Only 1 base hit given up from Elizabeth Brooks, but we head to the bottom of the first. No score between the Butts and the Patriots. And welcome back to Veterans Park, Northwest Shoals versus Shelton State. To start off day number 1 of this tournament. As we'll take a look at the starting pitcher for Northwest Shoals. On the circle will be number 17, Emma Claire Wilson. As the freshman right-handed pitcher will be making her 36th appearance on the circle, 26th start of the year. She has 5 wins, 19 losses this year with 2 complete games this season. And has over 129 innings of work, which is second best on the team behind Taylor Cameron, as she will get the nod in the first game of this tournament. As the first pitch will miss downstairs for ball number 161 hits allowed, 84 earned runs, 42 strikeouts to 47 walks, 14 home runs allowed this year with a 4.53 ERA. She is 0 for 2 in her first 2 starts against Shelton State, which came last week for the Patriots. Looking for her first win here against the Bucks. As this one will be a line drive base hit. This one's going to go into the gap into right center field. It's going to be a leadoff double for Emma Harrison, the leadoff hitter for Shelton State. And the Bucks have a runner in scoring position very early here in the bottom of the first inning. As Harrison, their leadoff hitter, able to get on a well-hit ball to right center field. And it brings on number 14, Heather Maxwell, playing in left today for the Bucks. Shelton State, very good offensive team. 17 home runs hit this year in 45 games. 201 runs scored as a team. 292 batting average this year with 350 on base percentage. Infield in. Here's a bunt here from Maxwell, and she is on safely. As Emma Claire Wilson and her third baseman Finley were on a miscommunication on who was going to make the play. It just sat there, and now runners will will be on the corners here with no outs for Shelton State. 3 of the 4 games between these two teams have been relatively close, besides Game 3, which ended in a 16-0 victory for Shelton State. But right now, an early visit on the circle for head coach Angel Brown, as Northwest Shoals 22-34 overall, and they are 10-14 in the conference, coming in as the number 5 seed, right behind Shelton State, who came as number 4 seed at 12-12. A nice start here for Shelton State, with runners on the corners here with no outs, back-to-back base hits. Maxwell with an infield single and brings up Elena Span, playing in center with a chance to give Shelton State an early lead here in the bottom of the first inning. And Span leads the team with base hits with 53 on the year. No home runs yet this year, but 18 runs driven in, a .373 batting average. This will be at bat number 143, a team leading at bat for Elena Span. Runners on the corners here. Harrison on at third, Maxwell on at first. She shows bunt, draws the bat, but it'll be in for a strike. Trying to get the double steal. Tag at third will not be in time, as Maxwell will advance to second with a stolen base. As Shelton State this year with 71 stolen bases this season, now 72 after the stolen base there from Maxwell, who now has 19 on the year, which is tied for first with Hecklinski. Chance here with Span, runners at third and second. This will be grounded foul. We do apologize for the shade blockers blocking our side of the field on our camera. We're able to make it through. Beautiful weather. Should be a great tournament here on field number 2. Harley Johnson moves to the on-deck circle here. 0-2 count. Runners at third and second here for Span. And she hits a ground ball to second to Street. And it's in time, but Shelton State will take a 1-0 lead as Harrison crosses the plate. Good productive at bat there for out number 1 for Span, able to drive in a run, as it brings in Harley Johnson playing at third today. As we take a look at Northwest Shoals out in the field, they'll have Katie Dawson, number 11, behind the plate. Brooklyn Owens at first, Jana Street at second, Aspen Teague at short. Laura Finley will be at third base for the Patriots. Harley Johnson steps in, and the first pitch will be inside for ball number 1. In the outfield for the Patriots, they'll have Braden Mitchell in left, Candy Clark in center, and Serenity Sis, number 10, will be in right field for the Patriots. A 1-0 lead here for Shelton State. Runner still on at third for Harley Johnson. And Johnson grounds one right to the first baseman. Throw to home, not in time. But they do get out number 2, but it'll be a 2-0 lead here for Shelton State, as both Harrison and Maxwell are able to score. Maxwell with just good speed, able to beat the tag at home plate. It was a high throw from Brooklyn Owens at first, but a 2-0 lead here. Bases empty, as it brings up Lauren Coker, who has homered a couple of times so far against the Patriots during the regular season. But Shelton State with a 2-0 lead, 2 productive at-bats with runners in scoring position. And the Patriots will have to figure out things in the second inning. Johnson able to drive in her 22nd RBI of the season, as it brings up Coker here. Bases empty. Shows bunt, will draw it back and foul it off. Coker, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs, a .248 batting average this season. 26 hits on the year and 6 doubles. Also has 1 triple this year as well. As counts going to be even at 1 ball and 1 strike here. Coker with Trinity Wilkinson, the catcher, on deck. Exactly the start Shelton State was looking for offensively. We'll see if their pitching can continue their dominance they had in the first one. Each team with a couple base hits so far, and that's a line drive right to third. Throw is in time. Nice reaction and good throw from Laura Finley at third base for the Patriots. Shelton State grabs a 2-0 lead as we head to the second here on JockJive. Very eventful first inning. Northwest Shoals, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Well, for Shelton State, 2 runs off of 2 hits and no errors. They have a 2-0 lead as we enter the top of the second here on field number 2 here at Veterans Park. As it will be Kennedy Clark, Katie Dawson, and Laura Finley to lead things off here against Elizabeth Brooks, who only allowed 1 base hit in that top of the first inning. So able to get some run support from her offense, as the first pitch will be outside to Kennedy Clark, playing at center field today for the Patriots. Very busy day on JockJive. We have 4 fields in action right now at Veterans Park. And we also have games in Oxford for the Division I Baseball Championship. So a very eventful weekend here in Alabama, as it looks like a stray softball came onto the field, so that's why they stopped play here on field number 2. After this pitch, we'll take a look at our team profile with Shelton State, as this will be a ground ball. Base hit to left field. Diving to play there from Liner, but it goes into left. It'll be a leadoff single here for Kennedy Clark. Second hit for Northwest Shoals here in the beginning stages of this first game here on field number 2. Clark grabs a base hit and brings up Katie Dawson, the catcher. So Shelton State under head coach Caitlin Griffin in her first season as the head coach for Shelton State, former assistant at Birmingham Southern. Bunt shown. This will be put in play. Tag will be made. Throw to second. Tag is in time. Double play. Kennedy Clark was able to make it in a second, but was able to draw off the bag for just a second. A nice tag there from Natalie Liner, and they're able to get 2 outs. Good fielding there from the Bucks as Lauren Coker with the tag. Quick throw to second. They practiced that all throughout the season for the Shelton State Bucks, and they come away with a double play here. 2 outs, bases empty, as it brings up Laura Finley playing at third. Nice start to the inning for the Patriots. Slow roller to third, and it's going to be a foul ball for strike number 1. Starting in off with a Kennedy Clark single to left field. Katie Dawson lays down a bunt right to the first baseman Coker, who tags her out before she gets to first. And then the throw to second to Natalie Liner, able to tag Kennedy Clark just off seconds. And that's where we are now. 0-1 count here to Laura Finley. And she will hit a ground ball to short to Liner. Throw is in time for out number 3. Promising start for the Patriots. But we go to a 2-0 lead for Shelton State. To the bottom of the second we go here on JockJive. Back here for the bottom of the second inning. It will be Trinity Wilkinson, Aspen Gerard, and Natalie Liner to lead things off here for Shelton State. We'll take a look at their starting batting order. It starts out with Emma Harrison, Heather Maxwell, Elena Spann. Harley Johnson will be batting cleanup, followed by Lauren Coker. Trinity Wilkinson, Aspen Gerard batting 7 as designated player, followed by Natalie Liner, and then finally Caroline Hekulinski. That'll be your starting 9 for Shelton State here in the first game, as this one's going to be driven out to left field, and this one's going to go all the way to the wall. That's your basis to start here once again for Shelton State. It's a leadoff double for Trinity Wilkinson. Started the bottom of the first with an Emma Harrison double to right center field. This one a little bit more height. Drops in for a base hit. An excellent start here for Shelton State. Once again, they already have 3 hits off of Emma Claire Wilson back in for her second inning of work. As it brings up the designated player, Aspen Gerard, number 23, stepping in here. 2-0 lead here for Shelton State to begin, as that first pitch will miss outside. But they're under head coach Caitlin Griffin in her first season with the Bucks, former assistant at Birmingham Southern. They come in as the number 4 seed in the tournament, 19-26 overall, dead even at 12-12 in the conference. Two teams very similar. Should be a great game here to open up the tournament. That one will miss. 9-7 at home for Shelton State. 7-13 on the road this season for the Bucks. They have series wins only against Northwest Shoals, which ended the season. As this one will be fouled straight out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Gerard. With Natalie Liner on deck for the Bucks, trying to extend the lead here. And their only series loss this season for the Bucks was against Snead State. And the pitch. This one's going to be driven out to deep right center field, and this one is gone. 2-run blast for number 23, Aspen Gerard. And it will be a 4-0 lead here for Shelton State here in the bottom of the second. That one was smoked to right center field, and Shelton State in both innings have driven in 2 runs so far. No outs here in the bottom of the second as we have a visit on the circle once again like we had in the bottom of the first inning. And it looks like we might have a quick pitching change here for the Patriots. As there goes Emma Claire Wilson back to the dugout. So head coach Angel Brown making a quick change on the hill early on. She had 2 pitchers warming up before the game started. Emma Claire Wilson, and we'll see who now is warming up. As that will be Brayden Mitchell, the leadoff hitter for Northwest Shoals. We'll step aside in just a moment as we head to our first pitching change here for the game. Shelton State with a 4-0 lead. We'll be right back here on JockJive. Welcome back here to the bottom of the second. 4-0 lead here for Shelton State. As head coach Angel Brown will make a change on the circle. She'll bring in number 1, Brayden Mitchell. And replacing her in left field will be number 25, Jade Robertson. So a quick change here for Northwest Shoals. Shelton State still with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Starting off with a Trinity Wilkinson double to left field. Then a couple of pitches later, a 2-run blast into deep right center field over the head of Kenny Clark. As this first pitch will sail outside, that was from Aspen Gerard, designated player. As we'll take a look at the pitching stats here for Brayden Mitchell, who has pitched the 3rd most on the roster for Northwest Shoals. The freshman right-handed pitcher making her 12th appearance on the circle. 4 starts this year, 2 wins and 1 loss, as this will be a fly ball to right field, and this one will be caught in right from Serendy Sisk. for finally out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. 4 hits so far for Shelton State as Natalie Liner flies out to right field. As it brings up Caroline Heklinski coming in, the batting 9th in the batting order for Shelton State. Going back to Mitchell, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 save on the year, 1 complete game this year for the Patriots. She'll be relied upon to try to keep this a 4-0 lead for Shelton State. This one's up and tied. We'll see if she went around. She did not. We'll be in for ball number 1. Exactly 38 innings of work, 40 hits allowed, 24 earned runs, 34 strikeouts, and 26 walks for Mitchell this season. A 4.42 ERA with 3 home runs on the year. Popped up on the bunt, and this one is going to be dropped behind the plate from Katie Dawson. Like I said, kind of hard to see from this angle here in the press box with the blue covers shading the fans over to the left and right field line. But that one was dropped, and it will be a foul ball here. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hetlinski. At the top of the batting order, Emma Harrison on deck. So I'd say Jade Robertson is now in left field with Mitchell now on the circle, replacing Emma Claire Wilson. As that one will miss downstairs. It will be 2 balls and 1 strike. Emma Claire Wilson struggling in her first 2 starts against Shelton State during the Redwood season. Struggling again to begin this one. So they'll go to the bullpen early on for Northwest Shoals in just a second. Bunt down the left field line. Played here by Finley. The throw is high and off the bat is the first baseman Brooklyn Owens. An infield single there for Hedlinski. And another base hit here for Shelton State. Another base runner here early on. Already 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles from Emma Harrison and Trini Wilkinson. And then Aspen Gerard, the designated player with a 2-run blast to right center field. And Shelton State with a 4-0 lead, looking for more as Harrison steps in and fouls off the first pitch. Take a look at stats for Emma Harrison on the year. 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. Gerard, that was her 5th home run of the season, so she now has 5 home runs and 15 RBIs on the year. Runner on first here with 1 out. Bunt shown. As that one will go downstairs. Northwest Shoals expecting another bunt. Couple of infield singles from Shelton State to begin this one. Harrison comes in with a .352 batting average, a sophomore utility player today for Shelton State. See if she tries to put down another bunt already with an extra base hit so far. 1 out here in the bottom of the second, as this will be grounded foul down the left field line. And now Shelton State with 18 home runs as a team, after Gerard with the home run to right center field. Harrison and Lauren Coker both tied with 3 home runs. Most of the home runs for Shelton State that have come this season have come against Northwest Shoals. They were able to compile a bunch of home runs against the Patriots to conclude the season last week. And they continue here in the first day of this tournament. As this will be a ground ball to short to Teat. Flips over to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. They'll get the force out at second. 4 out number 2 here in the bottom of the second. So that brings up number 14, Heather Maxwell, with an infield single. And also had a stolen base at second. Came around sort of his second run of this game for Shelton State. Maxwell with 2 home runs, 17 RBIs on the year. And the first pitch will be in for strike number 1 from Mitchell. 22-hit season, 3 doubles and 2 triples on the year. 224 hitter this year for Shelton State. She has played in 41 of the 45 games for the Butts this season. Top of the batting order, and that one's downstairs, 1-1 here. With Elena Spann, who started the storm off with an RBI ground out. But the Bucks able to score 2 runs in both the first and the second inning here in this one. So this one will be downstairs. 2-1 here to Maxwell. Sunny afternoon here on field number 2. Like I said, 4 games in action right now, Division I and Division II softball. As that one's inside, and it's going to be 3-1 here. Runner on first here with 2 outs. That'll be Emma Harrison on at first base after hitting into the fielder's choice. On at second, sits for put out. Maxwell looking for a 2-hit performance. She got a 3-1 count and grounds one too short. Throw is not in time. Good stretch there from Brooklyn Owens, but unable to get the out at first, as it will be another base hit for Heather Maxwell. And the hits just continue to fly here for Shelton State. First and second here with 2 outs. Brings up Elena Span. First and second here. As this one will be fouled off. Actually, it'll be swung on and missed. Runners will advance to third and second. Thought at first it was going to be a foul ball, but Span just completely missed and then got away from the catcher, Katie Dawson. Now runners at third and second here with 2 outs. The Bucks with a big lead here in the second. Looking to stretch it here against the pitching staff for Northwest Shoals. That one's going to be downstairs. Span able to drive in a run off an RBI ground out in the first inning. Now here in the second, has a chance to put this game out of reach for Northwest Shoals very early on. As this one will be grounded foul. Harley Johnson moves to the on-deck circle. The loser of this game will not be eliminated, but will have a tough path to try to make it to the final days of this tournament. The winner will face off against Wallace Hansville after we conclude this game, as the Lions await. As this one will be grounded foul once again from Elena Span, playing in center today. Going back to Shelton State, their only series win was against the same Patriots they're facing off today, which ended the season. Their only series loss came to Snead State. They had splits against Southern Union, which they opened the season up against Calhoun, Hansville, and Coastal South. As this one swung on and missed, foul tip into the glove. And we go to the third inning, a 4-0 lead here for Shelton State. We'll be right back here on JockJive. A 4-0 lead here for Shelton State off of 6 base hits. Northwest Shoals with a couple of base runners, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. As it will be hitters 8, 9, and 1 here for Northwest Shoals against Elizabeth Brooks. Able to make it through 2 complete innings, just allowing 2 base hits. Delivers a first pitch strike. Jana Street, Serenity Sisk, and Braden Mitchell to lead things off here for the Patriots. Shelton State scoring 2 runs in each the first and second inning. Good pitch there, and that'll be in for strike number 2 here to Street. No strikeouts yet for Elizabeth Brutz, but her defense has been very strong so far through the first 2 innings. Street playing at second today for Northwest Shoals. And the 0-2 pitch sails outside for ball 1. Well, this Shelton State team, pitching-wise, third best in the conference regarding ERA. They've allowed the second least amount of home runs in the ACCC, but they are last in strikeouts as a team, as that one will be outside for ball number 2. They did not check the swing down the first base line, but it'll be a 2-2 count here to Street with Serenity Sisk on deck for the Patriots. Desperate for some base runners, trying to cut into the deficit here, as this one's going to be fouled off. Keep it at 2-2. Offense for Shelton State, they are 5th in the conference in home runs, 6th in hits, and also in team batting average as well. An average offense for Shelton State, but they are on the upward right now with 4 runs so far as we enter this 3rd inning. 2-2 pitch will be popped up to right field, right at the right fielder, Emma Harrison with the catch for out number 1. As Elizabeth Brooks has retired the last 3 batters she's faced, as she'll bring Serenity Sisk playing in right field up next to bat. And that'll give us a chance to take a look at our team profile now for Northwest Shoals. This is the first pitch. Will be in for strike number 1. Under head coach Angel Brown in her second season with the Patriots, former assistant at West Alabama and also at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Northwest Shoals, their team ERA is 5th, as this will be a comebacker up the middle. Will be a base hit to left center field here for Serenity Sisk. Northwest Shoals with at least 1 base runner through the first 3 innings, 3 base hits, Sisk with the 3rd. Battling here with 1 out as it brings up the top of the batting order here with Braden Mitchell, who ground out to Elizabeth Brutz her first time up. It was a line drive in and out of the glove for Brutz, but had plenty of time to flip it over to first base. Runner goes, swung on the miss, throw to second, the tag, not in time. Stolen base there for Serenity Sisk. For a Northwest Shoals team known for stealing bases throughout the season, they have another one here. It was strike 1. Swung on and missed there to Braden Mitchell, looking for her first base hit. A runner on second now with 1 out. This will be grounded foul. The Northwest Shoals near the bottom of Division I in ERA as a team, 5th. They have allowed the most home runs this season from their pitching staff. And they've hit the least amount of home runs this year with just 8 on the year. 4th in the conference in hits, however. But they do have the most stolen bases in the entire Division I play. And they have another one there with Serenity Sisk. Count's going to be 1-2 here with Mitchell, with Maddie Griffith on deck. And the pitch. Ripped foul down the right field line. Coming in as number 5 seed in the tournament. 22-34 overall, 10-14 in conference, Northwest Shoals. They have series wins against Southern Union and Calhoun Community College. Only 1 split this year. That was against Snead State. That one's going to be inside and actually hits Mitchell. She'll take first. This will retreat back to second, but runners on first and second here for the Patriots. And the first batter hit in this game for either team as it brings up number 12, Maddie Griffith, who signaled to left field her first time up. But the losses for Northwest Shoals, they were swept by Coastal South to open the season. Lost 3-4 against Hanceville and lost 3-4 against Shelton State to conclude the season. Double steal here to tag at third is not going to be in time. Runners at third and second now after the double steal for Northwest Shoals. And now Griffin with a golden opportunity here with 1 out. Patriots desperate for some offense. Shows bunt. We'll see if she draws it back here against Elizabeth Brutz. And she will chop this one foul. So I said earlier, two fairly even teams in the conference, even though they're number 4 and number 5 seeds in this year's tournament. But statistically, very even in both departments. Should be in for a tough matchup here, as this one will drop downstairs. It will be 2-1 here to Maggie Griffith. But this is the right part of the lineup if you want to mount a comeback here for Northwest Shoals down by 4. Plenty of time left in this game, but trying to get here to Brutz early. As this one will be chopped right to the third baseman. Fires the first over the first baseman's head. Coker, 1 run comes score. Here comes the second. 2 runs will score off the air. And Northwest Shoals is right back in it. It's 4-2, Shelton State. That'll be the first error by either team in this one. The wild throw from Harley Johnson at third base drives in 2 runs for Northwest Shoals. And it's a 4-2 lead here for Shelton State. Both runners were going to stand put at third and second, but since the throw was high over the first baseman, Lauren Coker, and good speed on the base pads, it was an easy 2 runs there for the Patriots. And that is a big response there for Northwest Shoals here in the top of the third inning, with Brooklyn Owens, number 21, up next, who ground out the third her first time up. And the pitch here from Brooks is going to be downstairs. Good block there from Trinity Wilkinson. But the first error of the game for either team belongs to Shelton State, and it's a crucial one here in the third inning. Matt Griffin on at second. Owens looking for her first base hit. As this one will be a ground ball right back to Brooks. Flips over to first in time for out number 2. Griffin will advance to third. Another 1-3 put out as it brings up Aspen Teed, who grounded out the second her first time up. Teed this season with 23 runs driven in, a .298 batting average, 45 base hits, and 4 doubles on the year, as that pitch will miss downstairs. As this will be a bat number 153 for her on the year, third best on the team. Maddie Griffin leads the way with 175 at-bats. 66 hits. Teed is third on the team in hits behind Serenity Sitz, who just got her second. So that one will be in for strike. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Aspen Teed. Kennedy Clark moves to the on-deck circle. Teed technically represents a game-time run here if she's able to homer. Who has no home runs on the season so far for Aspen Teed. And she will pop this one up in the infield, the left side, and that'll be caught from the shortstop, Natalie Liner, for out number 3. Northwest Shoals cuts into the deficit. It's a 4-2 lead here for Shelton State as we enter the bottom of the third here on JockJive. Welcome back here to the bottom of the third inning, as it will be Harley Johnson, Lauren Coker, and Trinity Wilkinson to lead things off here for the Bucks. Northwest Shoals with an excellent response in the top of the third inning, scoring 2 runs off an E5. And now Johnson and the Bucks trying to regain a 4-run lead. First pitch, ground ball to short to Teed. Throw is in time. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin here in the bottom of the third. Couple of first pitch contact from both teams. And it'll bring up Lauren Coker, who grounded out the third her first time up. Playing at first base today. With Braden Mitchell back on the circle, replacing Emma Claire Wilson in the second inning. Jade Robertson, like I said, is now in left field for Northwest Shoals. The first pitch will miss outside for ball number 1. Coker, like I said earlier, a 3-home-run season, 26 base hits. She has 1 triple on the year with 6 doubles. Shows bunt here. As a 1-0 pitch coming up to her from Mitchell. And it's up and tied 2-0 hitters count upcoming here with Trinity Wilkinson on deck, who doubled earlier. Hits are 6-3 in favor of Shelton State. 1 error belonging to the Bucks, however. That drove in 2 runs, 4-2 lead. A lot of scoring so far here in the early goings. So that one will go outside. We'll also give you score updates from the other 3 fields in play today, and also score updates from Oxford, and also we have a tournament going on in Georgia in the GCAA. So we'll give you score updates on that as well. But in between games, you also can flip through our YouTube page and check out all the other games that we have currently going on live stream on JockJive Sports. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Coker. See how aggressive she'll be here. Shelton State's had a lot of traffic on the base pads so far through the first 2 innings. 6-3 put out to Johnson on the very first pitch. 3-1 pitch here. It's going to be downstairs, and we got ourselves a walk here in the bottom of the third. We've only had 1 batter be hit by a pitch so far, and that is the first walk of this game issued from Mitchell. As it brings up Trinity Wilkinson, who doubled to left field. Couldn't tell from this angle if it was going to be gone or not, but we saw it drop at the bottom of the fence for a double to lead things off. And this is the first inning that Shelton State has not led off the inning with a double. First inning was Emma Harrison. Second inning was Trinity Wilkinson. This inning's a 6-3 put out to Harley Johnson. However, Coker on first off a walk. This one gets away from the catcher, Katie Dawson, and on her way to second is Coker. As she'll advance to second on the wall pitch. Wilkinson was able to collect her 14th double of the season. 3 home runs and 26 RBIs this year for the sophomore utility player. 42 hits season. Wilkinson's been very effective this season for Shelton State. As a runner in scoring position here with 1 out. And Wilkinson swings and misses. For strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes to number 33. With the designated player, Aspen Gerard, on deck. Homering already in this one. Bucks trying to get back their 2-run advantage here after surrendering 2 runs in the third. This one's driven out to left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall, and it's going to be an RBI double, a 2-double game for Trinity Wilkinson. It's a 5-2 lead here for Shelton State. Well hit to left field once again. This one dribbled a couple of bounces before making contact with the wall. But it is going to be a 5-2 lead here for Shelton State, and they have scored in each of the first 3 innings of this game. And now that'll bring up number 23, Aspen, the designated player. Homer into right center field, her 5th home run of the season. As a runner in scoring position here with 1 out. And she hits a chopper to short. Nicely played there as T. The throw is in time. Throw to third is going to be offline. And advancing to third is going to be Wilkinson. But out number 2 is recorded to Aspen Gerard. As that will bring down number 8, Natalie Liner. We're a runner on third here with 2 outs. Liner this year, 1 home run and 13 RBIs, a 32-hit season with 5 doubles. As she flew out to right field her first time up. Back in that second inning, shows bunt here, draws it back, and the first pitch will miss downstairs for ball number 1. A .278 batting average this season for Natalie Liner. With Wilkinson on at third. 5-2 lead here for Shelton State. And the pitch. Gonna miss outside. 2-0 hitters count here for Natalie Liner. Only 1 base hit in this inning. Belongs to Trinity Wilkinson with an RBI double after a walk from Lauren Coker with 1 out. So that one will connect finally for strike number 1 here for Brendan Mitchell. Did an excellent job since relieving him and Claire Wilson, giving up her first run off that RBI double. It's Wilkinson with a 2-hit performance, 2 doubles, and has drove in 1 run so far. As this one's going to be popped up in the infield, calling for it, and the shortstop, Aspen Teague, will make the catch. For out number 3, leaving the runner stranded at third. Wilkinson with an RBI double, extends the lead 5-2 for Shelton State as we enter the 4th inning here at Veterans Park. Three innings in the books as we enter the 4th inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Patriots. While for Shelton State, 5 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error, which drove in the 2 runs for Northwest Shoals. The Bucks with a 5-2 lead. As it will be number 15, Kendi Clark, to lead things off here against Elizabeth Brooks, back in for her 4th inning of work. And the first pitch fouled straight off the net, or the fence behind home plate. It will be Clark, Katie Dawson, and Laura Finley to lead things off. Clark with a single to left field her first time up. And then was caught off second base on that big double play in the 2nd inning. As this one will be fouled off once again. The only score update that we have so far is from the GCAA softball tournament, ABAC, with a 9-3 victory over Florence Darlington Tech. ABAC wins the Mid-Atlantic Softball Championship and heads to Nationals in Oxford, Alabama later this month. As that one's in for strike 3, Clark is struck out as we head to the second batter of this inning after a strikeout for the first time in this game. Yes, first strikeout for Elizabeth Brutz. Did mention earlier that Shelton State is last in Division I softball with the most strikeouts as a team, but still a very good pitching staff for Shelton State this year. Brings up Katie Dawson, who went into a double play after trying to bunt her way and move the runner to scoring position. Easy play there for Lauren Coker at first, fired to second, got the double play in that 2nd inning. Clark caught looking for strike 3, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. As this will be a ground ball to second to Hedlinski. Fires to first in time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 4th. As it brings up Laura Finley, Ground out to short her first time up. We have yet to have a 1-2-3 inning so far in today's game. A lot of traffic for both teams, as this one's going to be a chopper to short to liner, fires the first in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Elizabeth Brutz and the Bucks as we head to the bottom of the fourth, 5-2 Shelton State. Very quick top of the fourth inning as we enter the bottom of the fourth. 5-2 lead here for Shelton State. They've scored at least one run in the first 3 innings of this game. Started the game out with Emma Claire Wilson on the circle. Angel Brown and Northwest Shoals moves to Braden Mitchell. Came from left field to try to save the day and keep this manageable for her Patriots. And the first pitch will be a foul ball down the left field line. Hitters 9-1-2 due up for Shelton State with Caroline Hedlinski. Had an infield single her first time up. Emma Harrison and Heather Maxwell for the Bucks in a 5-2 lead here. As Mitchell back in after coming in for Emma Claire Wilson in that second inning. And the first pitch, or the next pitch of this at bat, ground ball to second in time for out number 1. Jana straight to Brooklyn Owens. Brings up to the top of the batting order with Emma Harrison. A 1-for-2 game with a double to right center field. And ground out into a fielder's choice at second. Base empty here with 1 out. As both bullpens and also pitching staff trying to settle into this game after a lot of offense through the first 3 innings. So the first pitch will sail outside. Take a look at the previous series. These two teams met last week to conclude the regular season. And since Shelton State won 3 of the 4 games, they were the number 4 seed, while Northwest Shoals is behind them as number 5 seed. Even though both teams were going to play against one another, Shelton State the home team in this one, as this one's fouled out of play. And the series started last week on May 2nd at Shelton State. Game 1, it was a Bucks 5-2 victory. Emma Harrison and Lauren Coker with home runs. Lexi Darnell with a complete game win, allowing 0 earned runs for the Bucks in their 5-2 victory. As Harrison looking for her second hit, battling here with 1 ball and 1 strike. So that one's going to sail upstairs for a 2-1 count. Game 2 was the only win for the Patriots through the 4-game series. It was a 3-2 victory. Bray Mitchell with a triple and 2 RBIs as the Patriots scored all 3 of their runs in the 3rd inning and pitched a complete game win for Braden Mitchell, striking out 3 batters and just allowing 2 runs in the victory. As this one's going to be popped up. We'll see if it stays in play. It'll go over top of their dugout. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Harrison with Heather Maxwell on deck. So the only pitcher in the pitching staff for the Patriots that has a win against Shelton State is Braden Mitchell. So that's why Mitchell's going to be out there to try to save the day here, only allowing 1 earned run so far off the Wilkeson RBI double in the last inning. Looking for a clean 1-2-3 inning, like Brooks had in the top of the 4th. Foul ball, this will go straight over the dugout. Count remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. here to Harrison. Maxwell, who is 2 for 2 in this game, on deck with 2 infield singles, also has a stolen base in this one as well. It's Mitchell looking for a strikeout here in this one. Not a lot of strikeouts so far between the two teams. That one will bounce downstairs for a full count. Both teams coming in with an overall record below 500. Shelton State with a 12-12 conference record. As this one will be ground to the third baseman, Finley. Long throw, but in time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here for Mitchell and the Patriots. As it brings up Heather Maxwell. 2 for 2 game with 2 infield singles. Having a productive start to her postseason debut. Series would eventually conclude at Northwest Shoals on May the 4th. Game 1 was probably the most lopsided game throughout the entire 4-game series between these two teams. It was a 16-0 victory for the Bucks in 5 innings, as Shelton State scored in every inning except the 5th inning. The Bucks were able to combine for 17 combined hits in the win. Aspen Gerard with a home run and 3 RBIs. 6 Buccaneers with RBIs in the victory. And the pitch here, grounded foul. Elizabeth Brooks able to come away with the win, just allowing just 4 base hits and had no earned runs against her. It was going to be a conversation with the Shelton State pitching staff and also their head coach to see who was going to get the nod in game number 1. Their best pitcher, Darnell, not starting in this one. Most likely will use her if Shelton State is able to advance into the winner's bracket against Wallace-Hansville to face off against their best pitcher. So that one's going to be downstairs. 2-1 here to Heather Maxwell with Elena Span on deck for Shelton State. Clear skies here in Alabaster, Alabama. Hopefully it'll stay that way for the remainder of this night and afternoon, as this one's going to be fouled out of play. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. All the fields are right next to each other, so if a foul ball is hit far enough, it could go into the other field, which might stop play in the other games that we have going on here at Veterans Park. So both fan bases have to be very alert of a foul ball that could go behind the press box, as that one will be inside. It'll be a full count here with 2 outs to Heather Maxwell with a very long at bat here. So fan bases that are watching one game on their field got to be alert of foul balls from another field coming into play. Full count here, looking for a 1-2-3 inning is Mitchell. And she will not have it, as that one's upstairs and almost hit Maxwell. It'll be a 2-out walk here. And being on base all 3 at-bats is Heather Maxwell. So that'll bring up Elena Span. RBI ground out and a strikeout. Players meeting on the circle between Katie Dawson and Braden Mitchell. Shelton State's had at least 1 base runner in each of the first 4 innings of this game. Span looking for her first base hit. Been able to drive in 1 run so far. Wallace-Hansville currently below the press box, awaiting the winner of this game. We'll give you a tournament update and also a live look at the bracket moving forward. Taking off for second, the tag is in time. Katie Dawson with an excellent throw to second to catch Heather Maxwell stealing as we head to the 5th. 5-2 Shelton State. Welcome back to Veterans Park. Northwest Shoals, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Shelton State with 5 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error as we enter the 5th inning. We had our first inning in the 4th inning with no runs scored for either team. A 1-2-3 inning for Elizabeth Brutz in the top of the 4th. A walk issue from Mitchell, but a nice throw from Katie Dawson behind the plate. The catch, hitter Maxwell stealing. So no runs to score for either side. 7-inning game here in this one. Shelton State trying to hold on and go into the winner's bracket as they will face off against Wallace Hansville on the same exact field, number 2. As we have Division I play on this field and also on field number 5. And then the other 2 fields with Division II play. We originally were supposed to just have Field 5 and Field 2 as the only 2 fields active right now, but since we had the games be pushed back due to the weather conditions and the rain that was incoming, they decided to have all 4 fields start at the same exact time and have just Division I, Division II play at the same time on all 4 fields being active. So it's worked out pretty well so far. Hopefully we're able to get the remainder of the games in today on day number 1 of this tournament, and to day 2, where we will start seeing a lot of teams start to be eliminated. No Division I teams will be eliminated today. That will start tomorrow morning. We will have 2 Division II teams be eliminated today from their bracket. 3-1 count here, as this one's ripped foul down the left field line. Patriots looking for their first base runner since the 3rd inning. And it looks like we might have a pinch hitter here for Northwest Shoals. Looks like that is number 6, Carly Wallace, coming in as a pinch hitter. With 78 bats this year, a .256 batting average, and 12 RBIs. And it looks like she is pinch hitting for Jana Street at second. As this one's going to be fouled off again from Carly Wallace. 20 base hits this year, 7 doubles, and 3 triples this year. Jana Street, with just only 1 at-bat, flew out to right field. Made some nice plays at second, but besides that, Angel Brown and the Patriots looking to find some kind of spark offensively. Another foul ball here from Carly Wallace. Behind Wallace, it's going to be Serenity Sisk and Braden Mitchell. So it was going to be hitters 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order for the Patriots. After Clark, Dawson, and Finley went down in order. Strikeout and 2 groundouts, 1 at second, 1 at short. Wallace trying to get things started. Freshman in her first year with Northwest Shoals. Line drive right at the shortstop. Natalie Liner for out number 1. Leaping up to make the grab was Natalie Liner as Serenity Sisk will step in. A single and a stolen base so far. Came in and scored 1 of the 2 runs for Northwest Shoals in this game. Both coming in that 3rd inning off the E5. Shows bunt, and it's going to be fouled off here by Sisk. Serenity Sisk with 47 base hits this season. She's only drove in 13 runs this year, but she's been able to get on base quite a bit this season for Northwest Shoals. As this one is going to be a base hit to left field for Serenity Sisk. Just out of the reach of Harley Johnson at third, and it's a 1-out single here for the Patriots. Sisk with a 2-hit performance, has a stolen base already. We'll see if she takes off once again. Leads the team in stolen bases, and it's not even close. The second most stolen bases this season is 17 with Maddie Griffin. Serenity Sisk, after having her stolen base in the 3rd inning, and now taking off for second once again. The tag is not in time, That's stolen base number 42 on the year for Serenity Sisk. So Sisk with 42, and second place on the team for Northwest Shoals is Matt Griffin with 17 on the year. Sisk with another stolen base. Bunt shown. And now Sisk is caught in no man's land, but she'll retreat back to second. We go back to the top of the batting order here with Mitchell. Ground out to the pitcher her first time up in the first inning. Was hit by a pitch in the third. Matt Griffin on deck. 5-2 lead here for Shelton State here in the fifth. As this one's going to be a base hit to right center field just out of reach of Hedlinski. Sisk will easily score RBI single for Braden Mitchell. And it is 5-3 Bucks. A well-hit ball there, and Northwest Shoals still in it here in the fifth inning off of that RBI single. And for Mitchell this season, that will be her 10th RBI of the year, just 2 home runs and 10 RBIs with now 16 base hits. Dual threat player, pitcher, and a very good hitter. Swung on a miss. The tag at second is going to be in and out of the glove. Now Natalie Liner, and there are the Patriots once again with another stolen base. Stolen base there for Mitchell. That'll just be her 4th stolen base of the season. Going back to Serenity Sisk, she got 42 stolen bases on 44 attempts. Ground ball, this will be foul from Maddie Griffin. A single was able to reach off the E5 from Harley Johnson, runners at third and second. As Northwest Shoals able to score their first run since the third inning. Brooklyn Owens on deck. Northwest Shoals can tie it up with one swing of the bat. So that one will go outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Griffith with team-leading 67 base hits. Clark behind her with 58 now on the year. 22 runs driven in for Maggie Griffith. And she swings and misses. And that'll be a strikeout for Elizabeth Brutz. Out number 2 here and brings up Brooklyn Owens. A runner on second here with 2 outs. Northwest Shoals able to cut into the deficit as they have trailed all game long. Like I said, one swing of the bat, it'll be a tie game here. So that one will be in for strike number 1. First pitch strike. Owens with 2 ground outs, 1 to third and 1 bat to the pitcher Brutz, which was back in the third inning. Braden Mitchell on at second. That one's going to be outside. Aspen Teague on deck. Plenty of time here for Northwest Shoals to try to come back in this one. Largest lead this game was a 4-0 lead for Shelton State after the second inning. It's going to be upstairs. Ever since Northwest Shoals made a change on the circle, they've been able to stay in the game against the only pitcher that has a win against Shelton State this season. Brutz and Wilkinson will talk things over on the circle. Just a long conversation there as Wilkinson will head back in her designated position. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, the Wallace Hansel Lions into the batting cages, which is just outside the facility to warm up for their game. As they, like I said, await the winner of the Shelton State and Northwest Shoals. Northwest Shoals or Shelton State, the loser, will play an elimination game tomorrow. As this one is going to be a base hit over the glove of Hedlinski into right field, and it's going to be a 5-4 game off the RBI single from Brooklyn Owens. And Northwest Shoals down by 1 here in the top of the 5th. That is the 3rd hit of this inning for the Patriots. And they have the game time run on foot. And Aspen Teague 0 for 2 in the game so far. First pitch is going to be in for strike one. Starting off with a pinch hit, Carly Wasp with a L6 right to the shortstop Natalie Liner. Serenis with a one-out single, also with a stolen base. Mitchell with an RBI single and also was able to steal, as this will be a ground ball to shorts. A Liner fires to first and is not in time. Able to beat the throw as Aspen Teed runners at first and second here with 2 outs. Another base hit. And that'll be Aspen Teed's first hit of this one. And now it brings up Kennedy Clark with a chance to tie it with just 1 base hit. Here in the 5th inning, first and second here with 2 outs. Best opportunity of the day for Northwest Shoals. Clark with a single to left field in the second, a strikeout in the 4th inning, caught looking. Brooklyn Owens on at second, Aspen Teed on at first. And the first pitch will miss downstairs for ball 1. Clark with a 58-hit season, 1 home run. Team leading with 33 RBIs on the year, a .350 batting average. Big opportunity here. Hits a ground ball. It's going to be a tough play here by the shortstop. No one covering third. And the bases are going to be loaded here for the Patriots. And it looks like Aspen Teed is having some trouble on at second. When stumbling in the second, head coach Angel Brown's going to have a quick conversation with her star player. It might be a cramp or something. They're going to bring out the head athletic trainer over at second. But the bases are going to be loaded here for Northwest Shoals off another base hit. Here with 2 outs. Off the bat of Kennedy Clark. She's got herself a 2-hit performance as Teed is able to get back on her feet. And we'll see if she's going to be able to stay in the game here. Brooklyn Owens at third, Teed on at second, Kennedy Clark on at first. We'll see if they might use a pinch runner here at second. Owens will go back to third, and Teed trying to test out that leg. Had a very awkward collision at second base. Luckily, the throw did not go over to second, or she would have been called out. But the bases are loaded for the first time this afternoon for either team. And it brings up Katie Dawson, the catcher, with 16 RBIs on the year. 29-hit season with just 1 extra base hit this year, which was a double. 276 batting average. But bases loaded here. The biggest at bat of this game is coming up, and it looks like they're going to use a pinch hitter here. So for Katie Dawson, they're going to bring in number 9, Haven Steely. With 1 home run, 7 RBIs this year, 13 base hits, a .310 batting average. So Steely's going to come in with the base load here. Biggest at bat of the game coming up here between Brooks and Steely. And the first pitch connects for strike number 1. 2 runs have already come in the score here in the top of the 5th for the Patriots. After scoring 2 runs in the 3rd, they trailed as most by a 4-0 lead for Shelton State. Steely with a ground ball to short. Fires to third. They'll get the force out, and the bases will be left loaded. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, Shelton State with a narrow 5-4 lead here in the first day of the tournament. We'll be right back here on JockJive. Back here for the bottom of the fifth. Shelton State with a 5-4 lead. Bray Mitchell will remain on the circle for the Patriots. Trying to come away with some big outs here in the bottom of the fifth. This first pitch will miss upstairs. It looks like we have a substitution for Northwest Shoals out in the field. That will be Bethany Mink coming in at shortstop for Aspen Teague. Did have Angel Brown, the head coach for Northwest Shoals, having a long conversation with the home plate umpire, so that must be one of the changes. We'll see if there's any more later in this one. And it looks like Teague is now going to be at third. So Bethany Mink will be at short. Aspen Teague moves over to third base, so the entire left side of the infield is new for the Patriots. And a pitch. It's going to be fouled off here, as it'll be Elena Span, Harley Johnson, and Lauren Coker to lead things off. Span with an RBI ground out and a strikeout so far for Shelton State. Harley Johnson on deck for Shelton State. It was a comfortable 4-0 lead for Shelton State after the second inning. A change on the circle. Braden Mitchell comes in for Emma Claire Wilson, keeping the game alive for the Patriots. And their offense has been able to claw their way back into this one. Did leave the bases loaded with 2 outs. But it is a 5-4 lead here for Shelton State. Patriots with 6 outs to work with, but they need Mitchell to continue to be dominant on the circle if they want any chance to try to come back and steal this game and put Shelton State in the loser's bracket. As this one's going to be popped up in the infield, Jana Street, or make that Sisk with the catch. So Sisk is now going to be at second base after coming from right field. So Serenity Sisk is now going to be at second. Brooklyn Owens will remain at first. So the only question is going to be in right field. But Sisk is able to make the out off the P4. It brings up Harley Johnson. As this one's going to be fouled off. Johnson so far an RBI ground out to first and a 6-3 putout so far for the third baseman. Johnson with that big error that drove in 2 runs for Northwest Shoals. But here in the bottom of the 5th inning, bats here with the bases empty with 1 out. No score updates yet from the other 3 fields currently going on. See who's going into the winner's bracket and who's going into some elimination games moving forward in this tournament. Wallace Hansville won the ACCC last year after defeating Coastal South. Hansville trying to win the conference once again, this time in Division I. Last year it was a North and South division going into the tournament. Now this year, Division I, Division II. As this one's going to be a base hit into left center field with 1 out for Harley Johnson with her first base hit. And Shelton State gets a big base runner here with 1 out. Lauren Coker will step in with a ground out to third and a walk. As Mitchell back in for another inning of work, came in for Emma Claire Wilson in the second inning. It's only allowed 1 run so far, an RBI double from Trinity Wilkinson. That made a 5-2 lead. It's now 5-4. She would love a big double play here. It's that first pitch will miss downstairs for ball number 1 here to Lauren Coker with Trinity Wilkinson, who is 2 for 2 in this game with 2 doubles. With 2 hard hits so far. She would love to have an opportunity here with a couple runners on base. And the pitch here to Coker. It's going to be swung on and miss for strike number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike here to number 11, Coker. It's Northwest Shoals making changes out in the field. So we got Owens at first, Sisk at second, Bethany Mink at short. Aspen Teague replaces Lauren Finley at third base. We'll see if Finley is removed from the game or possibly was moved over to right field. So that one's downstairs, gets away from Katie Dawson behind the plate, and Harley Johnson will advance to second off the wild pitch. Seen a lot of wild pitches over the last couple of innings, moving base runners into scoring position. And the home plate umpire is going to call time here. And looks like a pinch runner is going to come in here for Shelton State. That's going to be Chloe Perry, freshman outfielder, coming in as the pinch runner for Harley Johnson at second. Saw a couple of pinch runners for Northwest Shoals in the last half inning. We see one here with Chloe Perry on at second. It's Coker trying to drive her in here. Already with one home run against Northwest Shoals so far. Fifth meeting between these two teams after concluding the Redwoods season against one another. It looks like time hasn't been called. It looks like a foul ball from the field to the right side of the press spots. So they finally get that softball off the field. 5-4 lead here for Shelton State. Shelton State has not scored a run since the bottom of the third inning, so it's in the lead 5-2. It's been a pitcher's duel ever since. Home plate umpire trying to make sure everything's in order. One out so far off the P4. As Lena Span popped up to Sis, now playing at second base. Harley Johnson with a single right up the middle. Chloe Perry in as the pinch runner. It's that pitch right down the middle for strike number 2. It'll be a full count here, 3-2 to Lauren Coker. On field number 5, as we speak, Snead State, number 3 seed, facing off against number 6 seed, Southern Union. As this one's going to be lifted to right field, right at the right field. She makes the catch. Perry back in safely at second, but what a catch in right field. I believe that was the pinch hitter for Northwest Shoal in the last half inning. That's Carly Wallace in right field, replacing Serenity Sisk. Carly Wallace with a nice grab in right field. And that's a big out, number 2. And now the head coach for Shelton State, Caitlin Griffin, having a conversation with the infield umpire. As the catch was made in right, Chloe Perry was able to make it back in time at second. See what this conversation is. They're trying to, I guess, conversation is head coach Griffin trying to make sure that Carly Wallace in right made the catch. And now the 3 officials are going to have a conversation. During regular season, we have 2 umpires, 1 behind the plate, 1 in the infield. In the postseason, we have 1 behind the plate and then 1 down the right field line and 1 down the left field line. So a 3 umpire crew for the postseason play this year. And the out will remain with Northwest Shoals in right. So they'll keep the intended call in right field. I guess that was a conversation in right field that Carly Wallace did maintain the catch in right field. And as the conclusion, Coker flies out to, or lines out to right field. And now a dangerous hitter with Trinity Wilkinson up next. 2 hard hits to left field, 2 doubles. Has already drove in 1 run so far. Perry on at second. First pitch is going to get away from Katie Dawson, and Perry will advance to third. Wilkinson leads the team with doubles on the year, with now 15. Behind her is Emma Harrison with 12 on the year now, but Wilkinson, their leading double hitter. Runner on third here with 2 outs. A big at bat here for Braden Mitchell against Wilkinson. Shows bunt, but that's going to be in for a strike. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike here to Wilkinson, with Aspen Gerard on deck. Wilson was just a couple feet away from a home run to left field, dropped right in front of the wall, and then her last double took a couple hops before making it all the way to the left field wall. So that one's downstairs, but a good block there from Katie Dawson. But behind the plate, start time for the winner's bracket game between Wallace Hansel and the winner of this game will be around 4:30, depending on if this game goes to extra innings or not. 2-1 count. And the changeup is going to miss downstairs, 3-1. Won't be an issue if they walk Wilkinson, who has had the pitcher's number so far twice in today's game with 2 doubles. First base is open, but not a tough hitter to get out nets with Aspen Gerard, who's already homered. So that one is going to be in for a strike. Late reaction from the home plate umpire, but it's going to be a full count here to Wilkinson for Braden Mitchell. In the 6th inning, it will be Finley, Street, and Sis due up. It looks like the pinch hitters or the new fielders that we have in this one are going to get a chance to hit. So that one is downstairs, and there'll be a 2-out walk here to put runners on the corners. Good looking pitch there, but unable to get the call from the home plate umpire. And now they'll bring out the dangerous hitter, leading home run hitter for the Bucks, Aspen Gerard. Gerard sitting in with runners at first and third. With 2 outs, 1 swing in the bat can put this game out of reach for Northwest Shoals, who has put up a huge comeback. Down as much as 4 runs. They're down by 1, but they need a big out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that one's going to miss downstairs for ball 1. A 2-run blast to right center field and a ground out at short. For the designated player with Natalie Liner on deck. Gotta be careful with the next couple pitches coming up here from Mitchell. Count 1-0 here. And misses downstairs 2-0. Second base is open. There's only been one instance in this game where the bases have been loaded. That was in the last half inning for Northwest Shoals. It was a pinch hitter coming in for Katie Dawson. It was Steely who ground out to the shortstop, flip over to third. Now he'll be grounded to the third baseman. Fires the first, low throw, but a good scoop at first from Brooklyn Owens. 2 retired aside as we head to the 6th inning. Shelton State with a couple of base runners on, no runs to show for it. We have a 5-4 narrow lead. Northwest Shoals up next to bat. We'll be right back here on JockJive. Top of the 6th inning. Very eventful first game of day 1 of the tournament. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Northwest Shoals. Shelton State 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error as we enter the 6th inning. As Northwest Shoals trying to complete the comeback, 6 outs to work with. as Elizabeth Brutz back on the circle once again. Dallas Renzi with you here between the Patriots and the Bucks. Winner faces off against the Lions, the defending ACCC champions from last year, Wallace Hansville Lions. Snap pitch is going to miss outside as well. As Northwest Shoals will have number 24 up next to bat. That'll be Bethany Mink, who took over at shortstop. And she is now at a 2-1 count, delivering a strike there. Mink went over 100 at-bats this year. 28 base hits, 6 doubles, 1 triple. A 2-home-run season with 15 runs driven in this year. So that one misses outside, a 267 batting average. Also has 11 stolen bases this season for Northwest Shoals. The Patriots trying to nod this one up here against the Bucks, who have led all day long. That one's going to miss upstairs, and it's going to be a leadoff walk here to Mink. And now that will bring up Carly Wallace, who is now playing in right field, made that spectacular catch in right field. Big out in the inning, keep it at a 5-4 advantage. Runner on at first after the leadoff walk. And most likely we'll see Northwest Shoals have Wallace bunt here to try the move. Bethany Mink into scoring position. We started this game out with Laura Finley and Jana Street batting 7th and 8th. Bunt here, but that's going to be fouled off. We now have Bethany Mink and Carly Wallace, the new 7 and 8 hitters for Northwest Shoals. So a couple of changes from head coach Angel Brown, and they are paying off here. Change on the circle with number 21 or number 1, Braden Mitchell coming on, and then a couple of changes in the batter spots. Paying off here. Can they come away with a win? That one's going to miss. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Wallace. Serenity Sisk, who is 2 for 2 in this game and also has 2 stolen bases, is on deck. It's been the most productive part of the lineup for Northwest Shoals as of late, as this one's fouled straight off the fence. It'll be 1-2 here. Crowd settling in. Tough start for Northwest Shoals fans, but their team trying to stage a comeback. Momentum definitely on their side. Mitchell been able to provide some quality innings of work. Now can the offense try to come back? That one's going to be outside. 2-2 here to Wallace. 20 hit season year with 7 doubles and 3 triples. A 256 batting average. Runner on first. As this one's going to be a ground ball out of reach of the third baseman. Throw to first, not in time. Runners at first and second for the Patriots to lead off the inning. Tough play there for Natalie Liner at short, who's had to make some long throws over at her position. But that's going to be a base hit for Northwest Shoals. They now out-hit Shelton State in this game 9-8 here in the top of the 6th. A walk and a single to start this inning as Serenity Sisk with 2 base hits. Bunts, and it's going to be fouled off. Also has 2 stolen bases to reach her total of 42 stolen bases on the year for Northwest Shoals. But right now she's got to lay down a good bunt or try to get on base here to load the bases up for the second time in this game for the Patriots. First and second here for Sisk. And it's out. No, it's in for a strike. Late call from the home plate umpire, and he awards a strike to Elizabeth Brutz. 0-2 count here to Sisk with Braden Mitchell on deck. Now missed downstairs, 1-2 here. We've already seen 1 double steal in this game from the Patriots. Will we see it again? The infield is in for Shelton State, especially on the left side of the infield. Chop foul down the left field line. with Mink on at second, Wallace on at first. Two players that did not start this game in the batting order, but have been called upon lately to provide some offense. Been able to get on base. Sisk has been so reliable all season long. 2 for 2 in this game. Can she go 3 for 3? She will pop one down the left field line. Was that caught? Hard to see from this angle since we have the shade blocking. And yes, I believe that is going to be a catch for out number 1. Out number 1, that's a huge out. What a flying catch from Harley Johnson and Maxwell and the proximity. Couldn't tell from this angle who came away with a catch, but I believe Johnson made the sliding grab to get the first out. And now we go back to the top of the batting order here. Mitchell, a 1 for 2 game. Double steal once again. The throw is high, but the shortstop, Natalie Liner, is able to back up her third baseman, Johnson. But the double steal works to perfection once again for the Patriots. Now runners at third and second here with 1 out. 1 base hit not only ties the game, but has the possibility of giving the Patriots their first lead of the game. Mitchell looking for her bat-to-bat base hit. She hits a ground ball to second to Helinski. The throw's in time, but we are knotted up at 5 apiece. As Bethany Mink comes in the score, and Northwest Shoals with a productive at-bat, and has 2 outs off the RBI ground out from Mitchell. And now Maddie Griffith, the leading hitter, with a chance to give the Patriots the lead. 5-5 game. Infield in. First pitch is going to miss downstairs for ball 1. Griffith with a single in the first, able to reach off an E5 in the third. Struck out in the 5th inning. Wallace on third. Here in the 6th inning. This one's ripped down the left field line. Foul. Count's going to be even at 1 ball and 1 strike. As we are in for a thrilling finish here. In just our first game of 3 that we have here on field number 2. We'll see one of these two teams later on this afternoon against Wallace-Hansville. But right now it's uncertain which one it is. With Shelton State with a comfortable lead to start the game. Northwest Shoals battling all the way back to tie it up at 5. Wallace on third. Griffith bows here, 2-1. And she chops one to Brutz. Brutz to her catcher in time to get Wallace at home plate. Good heads-up play. There's probably going to be no chance to get Griffin out at first. But we are knotted up at 5 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Don't go anywhere, but as the Patriots and Butts coming down to the wire here on field number 2. We have a 5-5 tie between Northwest Shoals and Shelton State as we enter the bottom of the 6th after an RBI ground out from Mitchell, who is doing it all today for the Patriots. And it looks like we are going to have a pinch hitter here for Shelton State. It'll be number 21, Maddie Wallace, the sophomore outfielder with her 72nd at bat of the year. 1 home run, 10 RBIs, a 197 batting average, 14 base hits, and 2 doubles. So it'll be Maddie Wallace to lead things off here for Shelton State. We'll see what part of Bangor she's batting in here for Shelton State, but she's going to lead it off here. And the first pitch will miss downstairs. And looks like she, I believe, is pinch hitting for Natalie Liner, batting eighth, playing at shortstop. I believe that is where the substitution, the pinch hitter is coming in here for Shelton State. As this one popped up against the fence for strike number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Because Gerard was the last hitter we had in the bottom of the 5th, and it was a 5-3 putout. So Maddie Wallace will come in. Not a huge roster for Shelton State this year for the Butts, but a very tight group heading into this postseason. 1-1 pitch here. It's going to be downstairs. As Mitchell has pitched since the 2nd inning, enters the 6th inning. Like I mentioned earlier, she is the only pitcher that has a win against Shelton State on the circle this season. Now the 4 meetings against Shelton State this year. Could be a possibility these two teams could meet up once again in an elimination game. This will be a chopper to short to Mink. Throw is on target for out number 1. As that will be Caroline Hedlinski, number 7, up next to bat. So it was Natalie Liner being pinch hit there. No, Hedlinski will come in and fill single and a ground out the 2nd, her last time up. In a 5-5 game here in the bottom of the 6th. Could require extra innings if need here in the first game. As well as Hansville awaits that first pitch in for strike number 1. Great pitch there from Mitchell. Jade Robertson in left field after replacing Braden Mitchell. Bethany Mink now at shortstop, who just made that last play. And Aspen Teach shifts over to third base, replacing Laura Finley. And it's Randy Siss is now at 2nd. As this will be a chopper right to the shortstop Mink. The throw is offline. And on her way to 2nd is Helinski. And it looks like Helinski is going to be safe either way at 2nd, as I believe it went into the dugout for Northwest Shoals. So now a 1-out runner in scoring position for Shelton State. It's going to be a tough play either way for the shortstop Bethany Mink, especially with Helinski's blazing speed, but she is now on at 2nd. For the top of the Bangor here with Emma Harrison. A 1-for-3 game, started the game out strong with a double to right center field. Into a fielder's choice at short, ground out to third, her last at bat. Big opportunity here. That one's going to go outside. For ball number 1 here to Harrison with Heather Maxwell on deck. 5-5 afternoon game here. Supposed to start this first game at 10 o'clock this morning, but since the weather was not cooperating, we pushed it back to 2 o'clock. As this one's going to be sent into left center field, and that one's going to drop in. It'll be a base hit here, but no advancement from Helinski over at 2nd. But it'll go down as a base hit there for Emma Harrison, so a 2-hit performance for her. Just miscommunication. That could have been an easy out number 2, but now even more traffic here for Shelton State. And now they'll bring up Maxwell with 2 base hits and a walk. 2 infield singles coming in the first and the 2nd inning. Almost all the offense for Shelton State has come in the first 2 innings. Only 1 since. But the top of Bangor due up here with runners at first and 2nd with 1 out. It's that one line foul down the right field line. Hits are now even at 9 apiece between the two teams. Shelton State was leading in the hit department all throughout this game, but now Northwest Shoals has made this a very interesting finish to this one. Atlanta Span on deck. We've seen one double play so far between these two teams. Shelton State got a big one early on. See if Northwest Shoals can pull off a similar one here in the sixth. That one's downstairs. They check their swing. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike here to Maxwell. First and second here. Helinski on at second. Emma Harrison on at first. Harrison was able to reach after a miscommunication in left center field from the outfield with Robertson, Clark, and Bethany Mink. Bunt here down the right field line. It's going to be a fair ball throw, and actually the infield umpire puts his hands up. And out is going to be recorded here to Maxwell. Apparently Maxwell made contact with the softball. And now head coach Griffin wants a conversation with the umpires as the three of them will meet. This is a big call here in the bottom of the sixth. It'll be out number 2 with runners on at third and second. If they reverse the call, bases will be loaded here with 1 out. Long conversation here. Big call here. And they are going to stay with the original call, and runners are going to go back to first and second. So it will be out number 2, first and second, since there will be no advancement after the batter being hit by the pitch. And now head coach Angel Brown wants a conversation. So a big call there. It looks like from this angle, Maxwell might have made contact with the softball, but the infield umpire that was staring right at it made the call before the throw was even made at first. But it's going to be first and second here with 2 outs. And actually, it's going to be a foul ball. So no out record. So I do apologize for that miscommunication. It's going to be no out. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Maxwell. So it looks like they're going to replay it. So Maxwell was not out. Still in the batter's box. First and second here with 1 out. So that's the conversation. One ball and 2 strikes, that's what's going to be the count. Since it was 1-1 before that series of events. Well, we were able to straighten that out here in the bottom of the sixth. That one's going to be inside for ball 2. So first and second, 1 out. So we basically replay with header Maxwell. Landon Span will remain on the on-deck circle. So they'll replay this at bat here. So 1 and 2 here. Maxwell shows bunt, draws it back, and she's got herself a base hit to right center field. This one goes all the way to the wall. 1 run comes in to score. Here comes the second. Throw to third is not in time. It's going to be a 2-run triple for Heather Maxwell. And it is 7-5 Shelton State here in the bottom of the sixth. Big clutch hit and safe at third as Heather Maxwell. And now we'll bring up Elena Span with a chance to extend the lead. So now the pressure is on Northwest Shoals. As Shelton State able to regain the lead. 1 out here after the 10th hit from Heather Maxwell. She's got herself a 3-hit performance and 1 walk. That'll be a triple for Maxwell after making it safely into third. The first pitch will miss outside. And that'll be Maxwell's 3rd triple of the season. 3 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs for Heather Maxwell. Comes in with a .224 batting average for Shelton State. Span with a nice hit, but nicely played there as Owens' throw not in time. So another insurance run here for Shelton State as Maxwell crosses the plate, sliding in. Makes it 8-5 after Elena Span able to drive in a run. Well, a nice play there from Brooklyn Owens at first base to at least get the out. Well, good heads-up base run there from Heather Maxwell, as Harley Johnson will step in. Johnson with an RBI ground out the shorts in the third inning. Fifth inning came away with a single. And she will drive one to deep right field, and this one is gone. Solo shot home run for Harley Johnson. And Shelton State puts up 4 runs here in the bottom of the 6th to take a 9-5 lead. Second home run of the game for the Buccaneers. Harley Johnson with a knock to right field. Two-hit performance for Harley Johnson as Lauren Coker will step in now. Well, it looks like we're going to have a meeting on the circle with the assistant coach for Northwest Shoals. Mitchell has pitched a phenomenal game, but a tough inning here in the bottom of the 6th inning to make it 9-5. Shelton State, as I'll bring up Lauren Coker, who is hitless in this one after the long conversation with Mitchell and her catcher, Katie Dawson. But a 2-run triple from Heather Maxwell. Elena Span able to drive in a run off a nice play from Brooklyn Owens at first. RBI ground out. Maxwell able to score from third base. And then Harley Johnson with a solo shot home run to right field. That's her first home run of the season for number 10, Harley Johnson, and her 22nd RBI of the year as well. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, base is empty. Northwest Shoals going to have some heck of a comeback. Second time in this game, Shelton State leads by 4 runs. Time's going to be called here from Lauren Coker. Ground out at third, a walk, and a line out to right field. That was caught from Carly Wallace. First pitch will miss upstairs for ball number 1. The other home run was from Aspen Gerard into right center field, which extended the lead 4-0. The sole shot home run from Harley Johnson extends the lead to 4 for Shelton State, 9-5 lead. And time's going to be called once again here by Coker. Count's going to be 1-0 here with 2 outs. Like I said, the loser of this game will not be eliminated, but will have a tough path to try to make it to the championship game with 1 loss already under their belt. As we take a look at the bracket, as Wallace State will play the winner of this one at 4:30 here on field number 2. The loser of this game will play tomorrow morning bright and early at 11 o'clock a.m. against the loser of Coastal South and the winner between Snead State and Southern Union, which is currently going on field number 5. That's all in Division I play as we speak right now on this Thursday afternoon here in Alabaster, Alabama. And I'll be in for a strike here on the 3-0 count. So Coker did not have the green light. He's on her way to first base before that called strike. But we'll have some elimination games tomorrow on field 1 and field 2. So field you're currently looking at in field number 1. As this one's going to be fouled off, and battling back is Mitchell to make it full. And the winner of Wallace State and the winner of this game will face off in a winner's bracket game on tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. That'll be on field number 1. So we'll just have a couple of games on field 2. As this one's going to be popped up down the left field line. Foul territory. That'll be caught for out number 3. Shelton State off a 2-run triple from Heather Maxwell and Harley Johnson with a solo shot home run. They have a 9-5 lead with 3 outs to go. We'll be right back here on JockJive to wrap things up. We enter the top of the 7th inning. Shelton State 3 outs away from a chance to face off against the defending ACCC champions from last year, Wallace-Hansville. That game is coming up on the same field, coming up on a different live stream, so tune into that. First pitch is supposed to start at 4:30. We still could have a possibility where it starts at 4:30. Line drive, base hits to right field to lead things off here for Brooklyn Owens. As Owens with a single to start, and Northwest Shoals, that's a good start to the inning, down by 4. As they have reached 10 hits on the afternoon, Brooklyn Owens with her second base hit after having an RBI single in the 5th inning. And now that'll bring up Aspen Teed with a runner on first with no outs. Back on the circle is Elizabeth Brooks looking for the complete game win, as her offense was able to provide some run support in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 2-run triple from Heather Maxwell. Elena Spann able to drive in a run off the RBI groundout, and Harley Johnson with a home run to right field, her first home run of the year. Aspen Teed, a 1-for-3 game with a single, a pop out at short, and a ground out at second base. As Teed unable to swing away that one, it'll be 0-2 here, with Brooklyn Owens on at first. But the loser of this game will face off against the loser of the Coastal South versus the winner of Snead State and Southern Union tomorrow morning at 11. As that one's hit down the left field line, it's going to be a fair ball here for Teed, and it'll be first and second here with no outs. Excellent start to this inning here for the Patriots with bat-to-bat singles. As Teed now also has a 2-hit performance. Both of her hits come on the last 2 plate appearances. And now Candy Clark, who is 2 for 3 in this game, will step in. And it looks like they have a different pitcher on the circle as well for Shelton State. As the first pitch ripped down the right field line, and this one's going to be a foul ball. And yes, they are making a change on the pitching circle for Shelton State. They're having Caitlin Powell, the freshman right-handed pitcher, coming in. This will be her 19th appearance on the circle. No wins, 2 losses, 1 save, and has 2 complete games this year with 39 innings of work, 73 hits allowed, 36 earned runs. Strikeout to walk ratio 11-12. So this one's going to be in for a strike here for Powell. Comes in with a 6.35 ERA. She's allowed 3 home runs on the year. So Elizabeth Brooks was able to make it through 6 complete innings. Will not be credited with a complete game win, but it'll be up to Caitlin Powell, as that one is going to get away from the catcher, and that is going to load the bases up here for the Patriots. And it looks like they're actually going to call Candy Clark out, so it'll just be a wild pitch moving runners to third and second with 1 out. So a strikeout to Candy Clark for the second time in this one. But the pass ball from the catcher moves runners to third and second here with one out. Brings up Katie Dawson with one out. That pitch will go outside for ball number one. Dawson was pinch hit her last at bat. But she'll bat here. Third and second here with one out. This will be chopped. This is going to be a fair ball, I believe. And Dawson's going to be out, but the run will score with Owens. A lot of confusion on the base pads. Looks like Owens is going to go at the dirt. So there's going to be two outs now. No run came in the score. Owens clearly made it across the plate, but it looks like they called Dawson out beforehand. And now the Patriots are down to their final out here with Mink, number 24, Bethany Mink, who came in as a pinch hitter later in this game and also came in at shortstop. But third and second here, trying to keep the game alive here for the Patriots. Powell with the pitch, misses upstairs. It's a 2-0 count. Starting off with two singles from Brooklyn Owens and Aspen Teed. Candy Clark strikes out. Pitch was downstairs, got away from the catcher Wilkinson, and moved runners to third and second. But the last two batters unable to get the job done for the Patriots, and now Shelton State's an out away from moving into the winner's bracket and facing off against Wallace Hansville at the top of the hour. 3-0 pitch. He's going to be upstairs, loads the bases up. So the game time runs down, come up to the plate for the Patriots. Off of that, 2-out walk. It was Jana Street earlier in the game, but it's going to be number 6, Wallace. Carly Wallace stepping in here. An infield single her last time up. This will be her second at bat. Base load here with 2 outs. Game coming down to the wire. And the first pitch is in for a strike. Wallace has no home runs on the year this season. But it would be a time for her to swing for the fences here with the bases loaded with 2 outs. Patriots down by 4 here. As Wallace with a base hit to right field. That'll drive in at least 1 run. Here comes a second. The throw is going to be offline. Wallace goes to second, as it will be a 2-run double for Carly Wallace, and it is 9-7. Game time run is on foot for the Patriots. So Carly Wallace does a job. That is RBIs 13 and 14 on the year for number 6. And that is going to bring out the dangerous Serenity Sisk with a chance to tie it up with 1 base hit. That first pitch will miss outside for ball number 1. Where it looks like Shelton State was just an out away from coming away with a 9-5 victory. Infield's in here for Shelton State. Well, Serenity Sisk, a 2-for-3 game. And she will foul one down the left field line. 2 singles, 1 to third, 1 to fifth, and 2 stolen bases for Serenity Sisk to get her total up to 42 on the year. Popped down foul territory back in the 6th inning. As that was a big out from Harley Johnson at third base. But third and second here with 2 outs. And that was going to connect. As the Patriots down to their final strike here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter, Sisk. Now playing at second after starting the game out in right field. Braden Mitchell, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. Powell looking for 1 more strike. 1-2 pitch. And it is a ball. Did not go around with Sisk. They had to check down the third base line to see if Sisk went. Well, it's going to be 2-2 here with 2 outs. First base is open. for the Patriots. Powell had to deliver another pitch at this at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Is downstairs. Full count here. Runners will not be going on the next pitch. But an opportunity here to load the bases up. Full count here to Sis. Mitchell has drove in 2 runs on her last 2 at-bats. Will she get an opportunity here? 9-7 lead here for Shelton State. Full count pitch is downstairs to load the bases up. We did not have many walks through the first couple innings of this one. And this will draw a visit on the hill here with Powell and her head coach Griffin in her first year with Shelton State. Big moment here in the first day and the first game of this tournament here at Alabaster, Alabama. Just a quick conversation with Griffin and Powell, but the bases are loaded here. Game time run on at second, the go-ahead run on at first. And now the leadoff hitter, Mitchell, will step in. Ground out to the pitcher in the first inning. Hit by a pitch in the third. RBI single and also a stolen base in the fifth. Drove in the game-tying run off an RBI ground out in just the last inning. So back here with 2 outs. Mitchell fouls one off the fence. Mitchell this year with 2 home runs and now 11 RBIs on the year. A .268 hitter with 15 base hits, 3 doubles. Needs a base hit here to keep the game alive. And it's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. This game started at 2 o'clock. Coming down to the wire past 4 o'clock. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Mitchell. And Mitchell with a base hit to center field. 1 run comes in the score. Here comes the game-tying run, and it is 9-9. Braden Mitchell with a 2-run single, and the Patriots will make this game go to the bottom of the 7th. What a comeback here. Both teams scoring 4 runs here in the bottom of the 6th and the top of the 7th. The Patriots keep the game alive. Mitchell with a 4 RBI afternoon, and now Griffin with a chance here to give the Patriots their first lead. And she will get a base hit to left field. And actually it was caught in left field. And it is going to be a 9-9 game. To the bottom of the 7th we go here on JockJive as both teams scoring 4 runs in the last half inning. We'll be right back to try to see what will happen in the bottom of the 7th. Shelton State with a chance to walk it off. Back here for the bottom of the 7th inning, Braden Mitchell with a 2-run single to tie it up at 9 apiece. Mag Griffin with a line out in left field to end it. And now Shelton State with a chance to walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher on the circle for Northwest Shoals. It will be their star pitcher, number 32, Taylor Cameron, as time's going to be called here. It will be Trinity Wilkinson, Aspen Gerard, and Natalie Liner to lead things off here against Taylor Cameron. It's Cameron with the pitch. It's going to sail outside as she replaces Braden Mitchell on the hill. It's Cameron making her 44th appearance on the circle this season. She started 19 games this year for the Patriots. 7 wins, 10 losses, 5 saves, and 7 complete games this year. Leads the team in innings pitched with over 156 on the year. As Wilkinson will take you in for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. 159 hits allowed, 98 earned runs. A strikeout to walk ratio 132 to 112. She has allowed 24 home runs this year, but comes in with a 4.38 ERA. Big moment in the game here in the bottom of the 7th. One swing in the back and end it right here. As Wilkinson pops it up. This one drips over to the fans, and it will go out of play for strike number 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Wilkinson. 2 doubles and a walk for Wilkinson so far this afternoon. Both of her doubles coming into left field. One almost cleared the ballpark as it went off the bottom of the wall, and a double skipped a couple times before making contact with the wall. Trying to get on base here for Shelton State. So that one misses outside, but it's been a very entertaining first day so far. First game of this tournament. Mentioned these two teams very similar statistically. And in the standings, the battle between number 4 and number 5 seed. The winner faces off against the defending Wallace-Hansville Lions on the same exact field in about 30 minutes after the last out, as this one's going to be fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 game has finished up so far in the first 4 games that we have here at Veterans Park. This one was moving pretty fast throughout the entirety of this game until the bottom sits in the top of the 7th, where both offenses have come alive to make it a 9-9 game. Wilkinson will take that one outside and will run full here. Aspen Gerard is on deck, who has homered in this game. That made it 4-0. Shelton State has led twice in this game by 4 runs, 4-0 and 9-5. Powell came in to relieve, get the final 3 outs. Not before the 4 runs to tie the game up. Wilkinson flies one foul over to the left side and now a play. It will be a full count once again here. It's Taylor Cameron, the ace for Northwest Shoals, tasked to get the 3 outs to send this one into extra innings. Leads the team with the most innings pitched. We're over 156. Emma Claire Wilson is second on the team with 129. Braden Mitchell, who came in to pitch the majority of this game, keeping her Patriots in the game, only pitched 38 combined innings coming into this postseason. She's well over 40 after an excellent relief appearance for the Patriots. Now it's going to be up to Taylor Cameron. So that one's downstairs. There'll be a leadoff walk here, and the game-winning run is on base for the Bucks. And now that'll bring up Aspen Gerard, the designated player, with a 2-run blast, her 5th of the season, 2 groundouts, 1 at short and 1 at third. A leadoff walk from Trinity Wilkinson, who has 2 doubles and now 2 walks in the game. We'll see if Shelton State will put her in motion. The show bunt, but pitch is going to be upstairs for ball number 1. Currently 4:20. The next game is scheduled to be at 4:30, but most likely we're looking at a close to a 5 o'clock start time for the said game. And Wilkinson is limping down the right field line with her first base coach. Hopefully everything's okay with Wilkinson. They could put in a pinch runner for her. Wilkinson technically is the catcher in this game for Shelton State, so they could put in a courtesy runner at first for her if they decide to. First pitch was upstairs for ball 1 to Gerard. As they'll resume play here with Cameron. On deck is number 8, Natalie Liner, who has pinch hit her last at bat. And the pitch. Shows bunt again, puts it in play here to the third baseman, fires the first. That's going to be off of Gerard, and Wilkinson will advance to third, and an out will be recorded at first. So we'll see if Wilkinson will go back to second. And she is heading her back to second. Gerard still at first base, and now head coach Griffin wants a conversation with the infield umpire making that call. As that was Aspen Teed who was trying to deliver a throw to Brooklyn Owens at first, but blocking the path was Gerard on her way to first base. Wilson was able to advance to second, but this is a big call here. Earlier in the game, we had a replay in the batter's box with Heather Maxwell after the infield umpire believed that she made contact with the ball, and it looks like Wilkinson's going to go back to first. So Gerard's going to be out, and Wilkinson's going to go back to first. What a huge call here in the bottom of the 7th. It was a very good bunt right there from Gerard to try to move Wilkinson back over to second. But not only does Wilkinson not advance to second, it will be one out here in the bottom of the 7th as it brings up Natalie Liner. Like I said earlier, was pinch hit her last time up. So play will resume. It was a warning given to head coach Griffin. So she has not been thrown out of the game, but that'll be her first warning to her. And now Liner with a big opportunity here with a runner on first. So that pitch will go upstairs for ball number 1. Now Liner with a fly out to right, a pop out at short. Her pinch hitter the last half inning was a ground out at short. Wilkinson is still on at first. Here with one out. And we'll go outside 2-0 hitters count here. Wilkinson only has one stolen base this season for Shelton State. 1 for 1 so far in stolen bases. Liner pops this one up in the infield over to the left side of the infield. Mink makes the catch for out number 2. Wilkinson will retreat back to first. Big out there, and now bring up the number 9 hitter, Caroline Hedlinski. Able to reach the last time off in E6. Each team with one error apiece. Hits are 12-11 in favor of Northwest Shoals. Game-winning run on at first. As Helinski fouls this one straight out of play. Fans will have to make sure they duck for cover over to the left side. Just one base hit for Helinski. Now with 49 base hits on year, which is second best on the team. Lena Span leads the team with base hits with 53 on the year. Pretty spread out offensively between the both teams. Helinski flies one to left field, and that one's going to be caught. And we are going to extra innings here between the Patriots and the Bucks. Winner faces off against Wallace Hansville. But we will require extra innings. We'll be right back here on JockJive for the 8th inning. Well, both teams will turn to their aces here in this extra innings thriller between the Patriots and the Bucks, as Shelton State is going to their best pitcher, number 4, Lexi Darnell, as the first pitch will be fouled out of play. Darnell with making her 26th appearance on the circle, 16 starts this year, 6 wins, 5 losses, 1 save, 11 complete games this year, with over 110 innings of work, 129 hits allowed, 61 earned runs. This one's going to be sitting into Gavin's right center field, and that one is going to drop in for a base hit. Brooklyn Owens with a leadoff single. Northwest Shoals has a go-ahead run on foot. 20 base hits, 29 watts for Darnell this season, 3.88 ERA, and she's allowed 10 home runs this season. Brooklyn Owens is 3 for 3 on her last 3 at-bats after starting out 0 for 2. And now bring up Aspen Teed. And the first pitch is going to be in for a strike. It's Owens with a nice base hit to right center field. Excellent season for number 21. Northwest Shoals with the momentum right now. Bunt here by Teed. This will be put in play. Darnell to first. Almost a wild throw, but a nice play at first base from Helinski for out number 1. Moving to second is going to be Owens. Just an excellent sat bunt there. No ghost runners to start the inning off for either team here in the postseason, as it'll be Kendi Clark, who is 2 for 4 in this game with 2 singles and 2 strikeouts. And she jet swings there and fouls it off for strike number 1. Strikeouts in the 4th and 7th inning. Singles in the 2nd and 5th inning for Kendi Clark. Darnell trying to give Shelton State another opportunity to walk it off in the bottom of the 8th. Going in with a tie. So that one will go upstairs. And for Brooklyn Owens, she had 24 base hits during the regular season, 3 today. On second here for Northwest Shoals, as Clark fouls it off the fence, and it will be a 1-1 count here. Kate Dawson, number 11, on deck. Patriots battered their entire batting order in the 7th inning. Brooklyn Owens was the batter that led it off. She bows here, a 2-1 count as that one misses downstairs. A 2-run single from Brady Mitchell tied it up at 9 apiece. Carly Wallace with a 2-run double as well after Shelton State with a 9-5 lead. That one's upstairs, and it's 3-1 here. 3 pitchers have been used by both teams here this afternoon. And both have gone to their best pitcher, Cameron versus Darnell, to try to find a winner here. As this one's going to be sent into left center field, dropping for a base hit. And it's another base hit for Kendi Clark, her 3rd. Runners on the corners here with 1 out. 14 hits now for Northwest Shoals. As it brings up number 11, Katie Dawson. Dawson was pinch hit, a couple of at-bats that go. Dawson headed into a fielder's choice her last time up, and now chance here to give the Patriots their first lead. 1st and 3rd here. Dawson fouls it straight out of play. On deck. So it's going to be Wallace. Runners on the corners here as Dawson looking for her first base hit. Into a double play earlier, ground out the 2nd. has hit into 2 fielder's choices so far. As the home plate umpire will get a new change of softballs here. Owens on at third, Clark on at first. Good speed on the base paths here. So that one's going to go downstairs. See if they move Kenny Clark to second. They've done the double steal twice so far in today's game, but not with runners on the corners. As this one will be popped up and it's going to drop in for a base hit to right field. And the Patriots will have their first lead of the afternoon. RBI single for Katie Dawson. And runners will remain on the corners here with 1 out in the top of the 8th. But Shelton State has led all throughout this game, and just like that, Northwest Shoals grabs the lead. As it brings up Bethany Mink, who grounded out to short her last time up. And the first pitch is going to be in for a strike. First and third with 1 out, 10-9 lead. If you're the Patriots, you want to grab as many runs as possible here in the top half of the 8th to put the pressure on Shelton State. They have done that. Looking for some assurance runs. This is going to be a base hit to left field, driving in another run. RBI single for Bethany Mink, her first of the afternoon. And it's 11-9 as the hits continue to compile for the Patriots. And now bring up Carly Wallace. And all 4 runs that the Patriots scored in the top of the 7th came with 2 outs. Wallace with a 2-run double. Braden Mitchell with a 2-run double as well. This one's going to be a fly ball to center field. That'll be caught from Elena Span. Runners will go bat the first and second, out number 2 here in the top of the 8th. And I'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Serenity Sisk. But what a game. What a comeback here from Northwest Shoals. Winner faces off against Wallace Hansville in the winner's bracket game. But both of these teams putting on a show. Sisk with a ground ball base hit to left center field. That'll load the bases up for the Patriots once again here in extra innings. 17 hits now for Northwest Shoals. And that is 5 hits now in this inning for the Patriots, scoring 2 runs off of it. And now bring up the top of the batting order here with Braden Mitchell. Bases loaded here for the Patriots with 2 outs. RBI singles here in this one, back-to-back, to give the Patriots the lead. And this one's going to be a fly ball to shallow left center field. Coming in to make the catch, Elena Span. Now lead the bases loaded, but Northwest Shoals grabs their first lead of the afternoon. They're 3 outs away from moving on in the winner's bracket. We'll be right back here on JockJive. 11-9 Patriots. We enter the bottom of the 8th. Patriots 3 outs away from coming away with a victory. This is their first lead of the afternoon, 11-9. Taylor Cameron trying to deliver the final 3 outs. And the first pitch from Cameron. Swung on and miss for strike number 1. Top of the batting order here for Shelton State, Emma Harrison, Heather Maxwell, and Landon Spann representing the last 3 hopes for the Bucks. Shelton State had a chance to win the game in the top of 7, up 9-5. Northwest Shoals has scored 6 unanswered runs, and this one's going to be fouled out of play. It will be strike number 2 here to Harrison. A 2-for-4 game with a double and a single, and 2 ground outs. Cameron just allowed 1 base runner in the bottom of the 7th inning, but able to keep it at a 9-9 game. Chance here to win it here for her. 7 wins during the regular season. But whoever comes away with this win's got to turn to Wallace Hansville in about 30 minutes to stay in the winner's bracket. And the pitch. Ripped foul down the left field line from Harrison. Looking for her 3rd base hit. 2 for the tie, 3 for the win for Shelton State. And count still remains 0-2. Starting to become overcast here in Alabaster, Alabama. We'll see soon, possibly in the next couple hours, if they'll turn the stadium lights on. So that one's going to sail outside. This game was supposed to start at 10 o'clock this morning, like I mentioned earlier. Pushed back twice. Started at 2 o'clock. So the remainder of the night will finish out late tonight here in Alabaster. We'll also give you some score updates in a couple of moments as well, as this one's going to be popped up and this will be drifting out of play over top of the dugout. So some score updates that we have so far. In Division II play, South Florida State with a 10-8 victory over Bishop State. So South Florida State will move into the winner's bracket, while Bishop State will have to play in a huge elimination game later on. And we also in the GC, or GHC, or actually 2024 GCAA Baseball Championship, as this one's going to be lifted to left field, and that is going to be in for a base hit for Emma Harrison. 3-hit performance for her as it goes into left field. In ACCC South Division I Baseball, Southern Union with a 4-3 victory. I believe that game was played at Jackson State. Shelton State with an 11-1 victory in 5 innings in Division I Baseball. And then, like I was mentioning earlier, in the GCAA Baseball Championship, Georgia Highlands with a 10-3 victory to win the 2024 Baseball Championship. So congratulations to Georgia Highlands for coming away with the championship. And then I mentioned earlier, South Florida State with a 10-8 victory over Bishop State. A runner on first here with no outs. As Heather Maxwell had a big 2-run triple earlier in this game that gave Shelton State the lead. She'll now have the bat here with a chance to tie it up. Count will start out 1-0 here to Maxwell with 3 base hits and a walk. 2 infield singles and a 2-run triple. The walk came in the 4th inning. Shows bunt here. She'll draw it back, and she'll lift one down the left field line. That's going to be caught for out number 1. Brings up a land span after the pop out from Heather Maxwell. Span today with driving in 2 runs off of 2 RBI groundouts, strikeout, and also popped out at second assist. We started this game out with Emma Claire Wilson. Brandon Mitchell came in to relieve. kept her team in the game. And now it's going to come down to Taylor Cameron, their best pitcher, who most likely is going to be the starter in the winner's bracket game if Northwest Shoals is able to come away with 2 more outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Looks like the catcher, Katie Dawson, is going to head back to her dugout to retrieve something with Span awaiting the 1-0 pitch coming up. Harley Johnson on deck, who homered in that bottom of the 6th inning. Only 2 home runs in this game so far. One from Aspen Gerard and Harley Johnson. Northwest Shoals has not hit a home run in this game, but they've been able to get the extra base hits when they needed them. And it looks like Dawson. One 0 is going to be the count here after that stoppage behind the plate with Katie Dawson. Runner on first here with 1 out. And the pitch. It's going to be lifted right to the second baseman, Sisk, who leaps up and makes the grab for out number 2 as the Butts are down to their final out. And it brings up Johnson, who was able to collect her first home run of the year back in the bottom of the 6th inning. She has a chance here to try to tie the game up with 1 swing of the bat. If not, Taylor Cameron and the Patriots will complete the comeback. 2 hits today for Johnson. And the first pitch misses downstairs for ball number 1. As the clouds and the wind start to shift in here in Alabaster, Alabama. Cameron keeping it close eye. Emma Harrison, who led off the inning with a single. So that one misses outside as well. Cameron doesn't like the call. Looking for her 8th victory on the circle this season. 7 during the regular season. Also known for making it deep in games as well with 7 complete games. As that's going to be fouled off. For strike number 1. 2-1 here to Harley Johnson. As this game has lived up to the hype between 2 teams near the middle of the standings in Division I softball. And now just one of them will have a chance to go into the winner's bracket, while the other one will fight for their playoff lives tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. The leader face off against Coastal South, or the winner of the Snead State and Southern Union game, as we still await word on that one. Central Alabama able to come away with a 9-4 victory in Division II, so that wraps up the first wave of Division II games on the first day of this tournament. So Central Alabama Community College with a 9-4 victory over Bevel State to go into the winner's bracket. Johnson fouls it off, and the Butts are down to their final strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Harley Johnson. Emma Harrison on at first. Johnson representing the game time run. Cameron a strike away for the Patriots. Showing bunt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it is outside for ball 3. That will release Emma Harrison at first base on a 3-2 pitch coming up. Two outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Cameron delivers a 3-2 pitch. And that is in for strike 3, and the Patriots complete the comeback. With an 11-9 victory, they will face off against Wallace-Hanceville in about 30 minutes. What a game between the Patriots and the Bucks to kick off the Division I tournament. Taylor Cameron will come away with a win, but let's not forget about Braden Mitchell, who provides some excellent innings of relief as Patriots trailed by 4 runs twice in this game, including the top of the 7th. Came back, tied it up, and then scored 2 go-ahead runs in the top of the 8th. And then Taylor Cameron able to retire the side with a big strike 3. Northwest Shoals comes out victorious. We'll be back in about 30 minutes here on field number 2 for Wallace-Hanceville and Northwest Shoals. Shelton State will face off against the loser of Coastal South and the winner of Snead State and Southern Union to keep their postseason dreams alive. But for now, Northwest Shoals with an impressive 11-9 victory here on field number 2. Well, that'll do it. I'm Dallas Rinsey with a call. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for Wallace-Hanceville and Northwest Shoals.